Hey, that's the Little Prince, but really today we're talking about kombucha.
Kombucha.
Our really dearest friend Cara is leaving, and she's gonna pass on the secrets of making kombucha while living on the farm. So the Little Prince is just gonna stay here. All right, let's take it away.
So, these guys have been, I did a brew this weekend, and so these guys have been in for about 2 days. I mean, we can actually try it to taste what it's like after, it's been like 2 or 3 days. So I did the brew on Saturday, and it's actually already starting to bubble, which is pretty cool. It happens so quickly.
Wow.
And you can smell it too.
Yeah.
So, okay, so from start to finish, the first thing that you have to do is make tea.
Thank you.
And so
You make like a big pot of tea?
a big pot of tea. So you do 13 cups of water.
13 cups of water.
13 cups of water, you let it boil, and then after it boils, you turn it off, and you put in tea and sugar. And so the tea that we have now is loose leaf tea, and so here it says 7 bags of tea, and so my estimation was that there's probably about, in a spoonful of loose leaf, it's probably about 2 bags of tea. So around 3 spoonfuls of tea is probably good, and then about 1.5 cups of sugar.
Okay. So 13 cups of water, 1.5 cups of sugar, and 3 big spoons of tea.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you let it sit for about 15 minutes to brew, and then you filter out the tea. And so you make sure that like the sugar is totally dissolved, and then I think we have like a little what's it called?
A funnel?
Strainer? Yeah, a strainer. We have a strainer, so you can filter them out into these. But make sure that the #1 rule of kombucha brewing is that make sure everything is really clean.
Yeah.
So even before you put the tea in, make sure that you give it a good wash.
So where would we put the mothers while they're...
So you can put the mothers in anything. I've heard actually it's not good for them to touch metal. I don't know why. Maybe something about, I actually have no idea. But any sort of container, like probably glass is really the best, but plastic is okay too. And whenever they're like outside of like a jar, make sure that they have some booch with them.
Okay.
So that they're always like moist and like they're in their home.
So if we just took like a glass platter and put the 3 mothers in with a little booch, that would be good while
totally
we clean them out.
And you can even like, the next thing is that you let it cool down for the day. Like you don't want to put the mothers in until it's totally cool. So you can even put them in that tray for the day and like make sure it's covered with something that's breathable, and they should be fine.
Like cheesecloth like this.
Yeah, like cheesecloth.
Okay. Let's just show them. This is the mother. That thing that looks like kind of a mushroom that's floating on the top.
How is it?
It's amazing.
Yeah, already? Yeah. Do you want to try
So,
it?
go ahead. You're the one who made it. Ta'im.
Ta'im me'od.
Ta'im me'od means very tasty in Hebrew.
And so, so this is about 3 days, and it's like still sweet, but it still seems to have like a bit, like it still is starting to get a bit of the booch flavor.
So we clean it out. We put the potion of 13 cups, 3 spoons, and 1.5 cups of sugar in. So it's 13 cups. That is for each one of these, right?
So actually, the way it's worked out is that 13 cups ends up being enough for one of the small jars.
Right.
And so if you want it, I think, is that right? Either one. Yeah, one of the small jars. So in order to get all of them, you need to do it a bunch of times. Or just do like an extra huge batch.
Yeah.
So you let it cool, strain out the tea and let it cool for the day. And then once it's cool, you can put the mothers back in. And when you do that, make sure that you put in, I think as much as you kept as much of the kombucha you kept in the tray, you can put in to each of these because they need a bit of the previous
Mixture,
batch
yeah.
just to get started.
Okay.
And so you put in the mother, and then you put in a bit more of booch, and then cover. Let
Wow.
it stay covered.
And how long does it stay covered for?
It's usually about like a week to 10 days. It's been fast, like in the heat, it was happening a lot faster. And now it's pretty much just about 10 days. And I would say as it gets colder, you'll probably start to notice it takes a bit longer to get like carbonated and really tasting like how you want it to taste.
So we're talking about, 10 days, so every 10 days we can have a cycle of this. Or we could actually probably just empty it like what we did, put it into bottles as soon as it's ready and start again.
Totally, like as soon as you bottle it, you can do another brew. So you can have like a brew going every 10 days. And then by the time you're finished all the bottles, like you could even be put, you know.
How many days was this again?
This is like about 10, oh, right now?
Yeah.
Like this has been 3 days.
And it tastes very good.
And it already tastes good.
It still feels like it needs more time though.
Yeah, it's like still pretty sweet, I would say. And so like part of the process is that these guys, like the yeasties, are eating all of the sugar, and so as time goes on, they eat more and more, and that's how the fermenting happens.
Okay. So it's better if it's less sweet.
Yeah, I mean it's still good, but
yeah. Remember how it tasted? It's still really delicious.
Yeah.
So that's great. That's it. That's like it's pretty simple.
That's it. And then okay, so in terms of knowing when it's ready, like it's kind of something that you have to taste, you know, and so you'll get like whatever you want it to taste like is kind of, you use your judgment. And so 10 days is a good rule, and then at that point you bottle it, and that's when you can add in flavors. So clean out your bottles, make sure they're really clean, and choose whatever herbs, or like ginger when it's colder, or juice, or like even fruit, like whatever kind of fruit you want to put in.
Fruit sounds good.
Yeah, that could be really good too.
I love the mint that you made.
Yeah, mint is definitely for sure the best. Definitely. So put whatever you want, whatever flavors you want in the bottle, and then put them into the bottles, and then they need somewhere around another like week or so in the bottles. And you can like, again, like, you know, it's like an interactive process. Like try them every few days and see
how it tastes.
So it's okay that we opened this now and left it open?
Yeah, it's okay, because there's still, like, the cheesecloth is really breathable, and it's really, you know, to protect, like,
bugs
and, like, dirt and stuff from getting in.
Okay.
So
that's really great. And then does it need to be completely full? Like I see that there's a gap here. That's okay?
No, it's totally fine.
It's not like making a tincture. Okay.
It just more happened that way because of like how much liquid I had.
Okay.
But yeah, no, for sure. And then each time that you do a brew, you'll notice that another layer of mother kind of creates itself. You can kind of see a little thin layer at the bottom.
Oh yeah, and we can start peeling it. Well, when it's ready. Yeah.
Like it'll start to get, like this is just from like 2 weeks, like it didn't even really exist before, but it'll start to get really thick, and then like you can give it to all of your favorite friends.
Yeah, we can get favorite friends joy. So I think that's really good. And the only other question I would have is when it's cooling, when the tea's cooling for like, you know, after you make it, it could be cooling with the sugar and the tea? Yeah, okay. So it's already mixed together.
Yeah, so the sugar will, because it's so hot, the sugar will dissolve.
Okay.
And you can keep the tea in longer if you want it to be stronger, but it's also kind of up to you.
That's awesome.
Cara, you're awesome.
Thank you so much, Cara.
Thank you guys for taking this on. I'm really excited.
We're really excited that this is going to be our project.
It's going to be the bomb.
We're going to have so much booch.
This is how we'll remember you.
Oh.
We'll remember you in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
We like you a lot. Anyway, thank you so much, and happy booching to you people on the other side of the planet. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Cara?
Bye.
Bye.